Beau is Afraid is written and directed by Aster and stars Joaquin in the title role. No matter how hard I try to describe this film, I'm not going to do it justice, so I'm just going to read the IMDb synopsis. Following the sudden death of his mother, a mild-mannered but anxiety-ridden man confronts his darkest fears as he embarks on an epic, Kafka-esque odyssey back home. Take from that what you will. I'm a big fan of Ari Aster's work. I love Hereditary, I love Midsommar, and the thing with Beau is Afraid is that it doesn't feel like an Ari Aster film, and it completely does at the same time. Whether you love or hate this film, there is one thing you can't deny. It is weird. I have no hesitation calling Beau is Afraid the weirdest film I have ever seen. This film doesn't just swing for the fences, it swings for the stratosphere. Ari Aster's other films are horror films, and when I first heard about Beau is Afraid, I assumed it would be a horror film, but it's not. For a lot of it, it's an absurdist comedy. At every given opportunity, both Ari Aster and Joaquin are making choices. It is clear one of their main goals is to subvert expectations. And I've got to say, the absurdist comedy element of it worked really well for me. I found this film extremely funny. Now, I will say it's probably not going to be evident to a lot of audience members that this film is supposed to be funny. I don't think I heard a single person laugh in my cinema. I genuinely think me and my friend were the only people laughing watching this film. So there might be people who watch it and take away that this is serious. I just feel like the way Aster builds scenes, the way Joaquin plays them, it can't be anything but a comedy. But that's how I perceive it. And that's the great thing about this film, that everyone's going to have a different interpretation of what things mean. Visually, this film looks great. There's a lot of freedom of camera here, and that really helps with the unpredictability of this film. Just like the story, just like Joaquin, you don't know what the camera's going to do. So to say this film takes risks is an understatement. As I said, it swings for the stratosphere. I've got to say, for the first 2 hours of Beau is Afraid, I really liked to loved it. Again, it's going to be divisive, but those first 2 hours really worked for me. However, I think the third hour has a change of tone. With the exception of some key moments, this film does get more serious in its third hour. So because I was enjoying the absurdist comedy element of it so much, the third hour took away from my enjoyment of it. I totally understand what Ari Aster was going for in terms of the themes he was going for in the third hour, but just tonally they felt out of place. They just felt like they didn't belong in this movie, especially considering what had come before. And also for the first 2 hours, there's a lot of ambiguity, which I really like. Because this film is really trying to show you what anxiety is, I feel like the ambiguities really helped show that off. Because with anxiety, things are heightened, things don't always make sense. So I felt like with the ambiguities, the film was capturing anxiety really well. But then with the final hour, the ambiguities are kind of explained, which disappointed me. For other issues, this movie is too long. It's 3 hours, and there are scenes that do go on, they feel a bit self-indulgent. And this isn't uncommon for an Ari Aster film, because I didn't like the ending of Hereditary. I did Midsommar. I didn't like the ending to this film. I'm not gonna really go into it, but how this film ended didn't really work for me. Beau is Afraid is one of a kind. You have never seen a film like Beau is Afraid, and you will never see a film like Beau is Afraid again. Overall, I rather enjoyed this film. The third hour does let it down a bit, but it is one of the most original films I have ever seen, and it deserves credit just for that alone. I'm going to give Beau is Afraid a B. Have you seen Beau is Afraid? I am very intrigued to see what you thought of it. Let me know below. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.